Welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show on 94.7 The Pulse. Music, interviews, news, and, well, Two Blokes Chatting. Now, here are the two blokes.
Hey Neil, where are we going now?
We're going to Grenfell in New South Wales. Now, not to be confused with Grenville, as you were trying to push up earlier. We're going to go to Grenfell. So the first question we're going to ask our guest on regional... Oh, hang on, we've got to do this, don't we? Sorry, stop, we've got to do this.
'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillaba, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine, Ulladulla, Darwin, Gingin, Lillaquen, Muckdilla, Wallumbilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakiller. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man.
I'll try that again. On Regional Roundup, we're going to Grenfell, New South Wales. Our guest, Mo Reynolds. G'day, Mo.
G'day, how you going?
Going all right. You've got Neil here. The other voice you will hear that you've already heard is Rob. I guess the first question we should be asking for the unintelligent, uninformed folk who don't know where Grenfell is. Where's Grenfell?
It's the central western New South Wales, sort of in between Cowra, Young and Forbes.
Oh, that's not that far up. I was thinking it was way, way up, but you're in that beautiful neck of the woods, and you are close enough. Will you be packing your little van and heading to the Elvis Festival?
To Parks, no, haven't been yet. Too busy. I just haven't had a chance to. One of these years I will.
Watch us name drop. We've just been talking to Brian Cadd, and he is going to be performing for free at no cost at the Elvis Festival in Parks.
Is that right? There you go.
If that doesn't get you across. Now, I found out something from your partner last night that I didn't know, and that Rob has absolutely no insight to. You play a bit of drums, and you might have played with a reasonably well-known Australian band.
Oh, back in the day, yeah. Like we're talking sort of early 2000s, 2007, 2009 was with the country singer Steve Ford.
Oh, I heard Choir Boys.
Oh no, I did when I was in Baghdad. They come over there for one of the tour of duty festival concert thing there. I jumped up and played the playing James Dale with them. Yeah, that's right, I did. Yeah.
You played the drums with the Choir Boys in Baghdad.
Yeah, nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to just run us through that before we get back to Grenfell?
Yeah, well, I was always a big fan of the Choir Boys when I was younger, and I sort of took up playing drums when I was about sort of 12, 13, and for some reason, that Big Bad Noise album just drew me to it. I just listened to it over and over again. But to me, the pick of the songs was James Dale. And when they came over there, they didn't bring Paul Wheeler with them, who plays for... Who's he with now? He's an Icehouse drummer. He didn't go over, so they brought some other young bloke over with them. And I said, can you do James Dale? And they said, look, young... I think his name was Chris. They said, Chris doesn't know that one. I said, well, could I play it for you? And they go, do you know it? I'm like, yeah. So I've jumped up in front of all these British, American, and Australian troops and just cranked out James Dale with them. It's just unreal. It's awesome.
Now, just on a bit of exciting moments in life, has anything else come near that?
Yeah, close to. When I was touring with Steve Ford, I got to tour with Gary Allen and Brooks and Dunn and a few other names like that, which was pretty good. So yeah, a bit of music-wise, I've had a pretty good run.
I'm glad you put music-wise in there because I know Kaylin's listening, and if you don't say the day I met Kaylin, it's probably not going to win you over a lot of friends.
That was the best day.
Yeah, of course. well, I've handed you the shovel and you've known how to use it. Tell us about Grenfell, mate.
Grenfell's a small town, about 2,500 people, central west New South Wales. First started back in the day, it was called Emu Creek. It was for gold, originally gold. It was, I think I read somewhere about 20,000 people there at one stage when the gold rush was on, and I think 30 licensed premises up George Street, which is the old main street, which is just unfathomable to believe that this little town had that much happening back then. It's wound back a bit now, but now it's just mainly about wheat and wool.
Okay. And so if you can't get what you want in Grenfell, where would you head? Is it Cowra or Young or one of those places, is it?
Cowra, Young or Forbes, they're bigger centres. Cowra and Young are probably around the 10,000, Forbes around the 8,000, I think, population-wise.
And what do you do up there?
I own a pub and also work full-time for a company called Lachlan Fertilisers doing on-farm fuel delivery. So between two full-time jobs, I don't have a lot of time to do anything.
You're not banging on the drums too much then?
I haven't played since, I think, COVID. We played for one of the biker bashes. It was a poker run, and that would have been March 2020 was the last time I picked up sticks.
And I think I'm right in saying, because to be fair, Mo and I have chatted before on a podcast episode. Am I right in saying that you have the extraordinarily original name of the pub is called the Railway Hotel?
The Railway Hotel Grenfell, that's the one.
It's never been... Has the pub ever been called that before?
No, never heard of it.
No.
It's quite unique. And it's funny that it's called the Railway Hotel Grenfell. It's not just called the Railway Hotel, because there are a few.
There's a lot around. We had to put the Grenfell after it so they know where we are. We're in Australia.
Just for the agricultural people connected, I was quite surprised off air, Mo, you're talking about you're still harvesting up there, because we had this mental picture of harvesting starts in Queensland. The headers all just drive down through New South Wales and into Mallee in Victoria and finish up down here where we are near Geelong, but you're still going up there.
Usually it will finish about 2 weeks before Christmas. You can sort of knock it over then. But the amount of rain we've had through December and sort of start of January is just unbelievable. Like, it's just, I've never seen so much rain. And even the farmers out here, they haven't seen that before.
So you've got a lot of damaged grains shot in the head and the like?
Yeah, a lot of it, some of it's shot and sprung. A lot of it's just gone feed. They've just lost it, or any sort of, protein's gone out of it because it's sat around for so long and it's just so wet. So, but I mean, I think the price of feed wet was quite good this year, so I think even if they got the bulk out, they still did fairly well out of it with any luck, so yeah.
That's good. And agriculture, you mentioned the town's buzzing on wool and wheat at the moment. That's quite common through the country towns in Victoria as well. It's still just the heart and soul. There's a lot of things changed about society in Australia, but for country towns like yours, the agricultural side and the riding on the sheep's back and the wheat is still very much part of the Australian economic foundation.
Huge part of it. We sort of say if the farmers have a good year, the town has a good year.
I lived in a town called Charlton in 1984. It's a wheat town up in the Mallee, and I can remember everyone was driving a 1982, because it was 1982 model car, because that was the really good harvest, and everybody went out and bought a car, and the car dealers were absolutely rolling in it, knowing that they weren't going to for the next 10.
Yeah, that's right. Have a big hit and then you sort of get nothing. So this has been a really wet year. Last year was a really good year. It was quite a good harvest. We're one of the better ones in quite a while. But before that, the 4 years before that was just drought, and it was tough. It was really tough.
Hey, Mo, just in your pub, people leaning over the bar in the Railway Hotel, all this strange weather. What's the conversation like in the farming fraternity about those dirty words, climate change?
Oh, I don't know. They sort of don't really worry about it here. I think it's inevitable. I think everyone just believes around here that it sort of happens. I mean, you can try and slow it up, but, most cockies will sort of say it's happening for hundreds of years and thousands of years. You just sort of do what you can. But, I mean, climate, it doesn't really get a mention, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? I thought a few of them might have... Well, I suppose some of them that said 20 years ago was a load of crap wouldn't be saying, oh, perhaps it's right. They might be just hanging on. But there is no doubt that, I don't know how old you are, I'm been in the agricultural industry 40 plus years, but the climate in which we do agriculture has changed incredibly in that period, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can just tell the fact of even the fact they're starting to grow some cotton around Forbes now. That was always up north. So, it's sort of, I don't know, I think you can sort of, the way the climate's going, you can do different crops in different areas.
And Rob, when he started in the agriculture industry 40 years ago, he was actually 72 at the time.
Had a good innings.
I've been about a while, Mo.
Mo, it is a thrill to chat to you, and I'm looking forward to having a chat to you on another podcast very soon. I don't know whether you've been told that you're doing that yet, but it's great that we could have a chat to you up there in Grenfell today and introduce the town to the folk of Geelong and areas around.
Fantastic. Really good talk to you.
And if people come up into the bar of the Railway Hotel and say, I heard about you on the Two Blokes Chatting radio show, you'll give them a free handshake, won't you?
Give them a free beer.
Even better. Thanks, Mo. We will look forward to chatting to you very, very soon.
No worries. Thank you.
All the best, Mo Reynolds there from the Railway Hotel in Grenfell.